how to save you money on electricity with your swimming pool. And that's one of the biggest expenses other than the air conditioning of your house that you got to be dealing with. Well, he's got these answers when it comes to solar and all kinds of efficient 2-speed pumps and all that that will be able to save you a daggone fortune on your electric bill. So you want to get in line now.
And you can even, no, you don't put AMSOIL in your pool, do you?
No, Rob.
Good job.
No AMSOIL in the spas, okay?
Punched in with my big lunchbox and with help from my friend, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. I've never considered myself.
The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO Orlando. Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. Police say she told them she did it because they were mouthy. Julie Schenecker is hospitalized in Tampa after allegedly shooting her teenage son and daughter to death. Investigators say the son was shot dead on the way to soccer practice, and the daughter was shot while studying at a computer. Schencker's mother described her as depressed.
Police also tell us back at the house they found a letter she left behind, and they say she told them she planned to kill herself after she killed her 2 children, but she never went through with it.
Schenecker's husband is a U.S. Army officer serving in the Middle East. That's ABC's Chris Martinez in Tampa. Egyptian security officials say at least 74 people have been killed in 5 days of protests aimed at ending President Hosni Mubarak's 30-year rule. Around 2,000 have been injured. Mubarak has made some changes that some liken to rearranging the deck chairs on a sinking ship.
Protesters ignored the curfew in Cairo as President Mubarak ignored their demands that he step down. Instead, the beleaguered Egyptian president filled top government posts with well-known faces, including his intelligence chief and aviation minister. Waiting in the wings, former Nobel laureate and Egyptian Mohammed al-Baradei.
If he got the message and pretend that he hasn't heard the Egyptian people, then it's an insult to the intelligence of every Egyptian.
Meanwhile, tanks along with ordinary citizens are protecting the treasures at the museum in Tahrir Square, but there has been some looting. Linda Albin, ABC News.
Back in this country, police in Minot, North Dakota are investigating a quadruple homicide. 4 people were found shot to death at 2 locations in the city. Authorities say they questioned a person of interest but aren't disclosing details. They do say the public is not in danger. Comcast has closed on the deal to take a controlling interest in NBC Universal. The deal closing after the federal government imposed conditions on Comcast aimed at barring the new entity from denying online video services access to NBC Universal's programming. You're listening to ABC News.
Now, a WDBO news update from Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Governor Rick Scott has put a freeze on spending hundreds of millions of dollars for Central Florida's planned commuter train Sunrail. Late Friday night, Scott announced a freeze on $235 million slated for the 61-mile line. It's all part of his newly created Office of Fiscal Accountability. The $1.2 billion rail project was supposed to begin running from DeLand to Point Siena in 2013. According to published reports, Florida Department of Transportation officials are confident that Scott's office will release the money possibly as early as next week. If you're a customer with State Farm property insurance, your rates could be going up. State Farm has announced a new public rate hearing set for next month. According to published reports, customers with the company could see rate increases of up to 28%. State Farm is Florida's largest private property insurer, with almost 700,000 insurance policies in the state. A visually impaired man has been reunited with his seeing eye dog that went missing for days in Osceola County. The guide dog, named Devin, ran away during Tuesday's severe weather. His owner, who's been blind all his life, got a call from police that a couple on vacation had found Devin. The dog and its owner were in Kissimmee for a convention and can now go home to South Carolina. Crews at the Kennedy Space Center will continue working this afternoon to get the Space Shuttle Discovery ready for its trip back to the launch pad. Workers have finished reinforcing structural beams that cracked during the last countdown in November. Its last mission is scheduled to launch on February 24th at 4:50 in the afternoon. Oil prices are going up. Yesterday, prices jumped by 4%, making the cost of one barrel almost $90. That will eventually cause gas prices to go up, too. For these stories and the important local news of the day, watch Channel 9 Eyewitness News tonight at 6. WDBO News Time 5:04. Traffic and weather are next.
the right place for conservative talk.
Conservative Talk. Neil Boortz at 9. Clark Howard at 1. Sean Hannity at 3.
News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Depend on it.
It's June again to talk to all you husbands, brothers, fathers, and grandfathers. It's our first new year without Jerry. I still can't believe he's gone. We lost him just a few months ago to prostate cancer in the prime of his life, only 50 years old. There was nothing we could do. We just waited too long. He always said he'd get a prostate screening, but he kept putting it off. Sure, we knew that 1 in 6 men over 40 is affected by prostate cancer, but he had no symptoms, so we thought everything was okay. Boy, were we wrong.
Call Dr. Lotenfo and his staff at Urology Health Solutions at 407-566-1105 or visit OrlandoProstateCancer.com and schedule your screening today.
Start the new year off right. Don't put it off any longer and do this for your family today.
Call Dr. Lotenfo at 407-566-1105. That's 407-566-1105 or visit OrlandoProstateCancer.com. Urology Health Solutions. Passion for patients. Undeniable results.
Good afternoon. It's 5:05 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network and Paul Barnett.
I-4 is up to speed in both east and westbound directions, and State Road 417 northbound near International Drive. The right lane is blocked due to an accident, and FHP is on scene. This report is brought to you by UCF Baseball. Baseball fans, join UCF Baseball team for food, fun, and prizes at Fan Fest this Saturday at 5 p.m. in the UCF venue. Admission is free. For more information, visit UCFathletics.com. On the station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Paul Barnett.
It'll be chilly tonight after a pleasant Saturday. Temperatures dropping back into the mid-40s. There will be some patchy high clouds coming in from the west. Also some fog around first thing tomorrow morning. For the afternoon, not quite as sunny, but still pretty nice for your Sunday. Partly cloudy, a high of 74. From Severe Weather Center 9 and WDBO, I'm meteorologist Brian Monahan.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar continues to show no rain across Central Florida. It's 69 in Ocoee and 70 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
Sean Hannity.
This is beyond a disaster at this point.
Weekdays at 3. Only on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. The following hour was paid for by the host and does not reflect the opinion of AM 580 WDBO. The Pool Fanatics are on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Brought to you each week by your host, Tony Caruso, and his company, TC Water Features. If you have questions about pool maintenance or have been thinking about adding a pool, spa area, or waterfall, you need to call now at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Now, the Pool Fanatics.
All right, everybody in the pool. That's it. Right now, it's the Pool Fanatics. My buddy, Tony Caruso, and he'll be your best friend the minute you meet this guy. You love him. He is the guy that's going to take you from the concept. He's going to take you from, there's our backyard, Tony. We'd like to build a pool. And then all of a sudden, he lights up and he says, amazing things can happen in your backyard. And before you know it, you're swimming. And your neighbors are coming over and going, God, we'd like to have one of those. And then you tell your neighbors, and they build a pool too. And all of a sudden, Tony's out there all the time. He's in the neighborhood, okay? Anyhow, Pool Fanatics, starring Tony Caruso, Orlando Luxury Pools, by TC Water Features. It's exclusive. It's right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Let's light up the phone lines. 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Today's show is sponsored by The Pool Pleaser. With over 30 years experience in service and supplies, hey, they got stores all over. They got stores in Bay Hill, South Orange Avenue in Pine Castle, and in Lake Mary.
Lake Nona.
In Lake Nona.
There you go.
Wow. Lake Nona.
Lake Nona. Yeah. Kind of my neck of the woods too. I do a little bit of business down there as well.
Where are they down in Pine Castle? Are they down there by the factory? I love going down there where the boats are made.
You're not far, by the way. If you went out Hoffner, Hoffner kind of goes across Orange Avenue, and then the next block down. They're right there on the corner of Orange Avenue and Hoffner, and I believe that's called Della Drive. Della Drive. Mm-hmm. It's a small store, you know. I went by there one day, and they put up a sign that says, "Listen to Tony and the Pool Fanatics Saturday at 5 p.m." on their marquee. I love it.
Well, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now tell us, when I walk in their store, what do I see? What do they do?
Well, what they do is they're a full-line service company, plus they do retail. You know, Rob, I was a retailer for 10 years, you know. And what's really cool about them is all of their employees have Ask-A-Seal. What's Ask-A-Seal? Yeah. They all have background. Well, not Ask. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I was going to say.
Yeah. They all have background checks. So you know when someone walks in your backyard, they have a little badge they wear.
They're an advertiser on this very radio station.
Ask-A-Seal.
I met them at Urban Flats one night.
Well, I believe they are the first pool service company and retailer to have Ask-A-Seal.
How important is that for the homeowner to know that the person coming there has had a background check? That is imperative in this day and age.
Well, Rob, we've talked about how many pools are in Central Florida. We realize how many pools are here. Now, the drawback to being in the retail, you don't have to be licensed to be in the retail, but you don't have to be licensed to be a pool cleaner. That's what's really funny. The state of Florida does not require a swimming pool maintenance guy to have a license. We have pushed and pushed and pushed. It's just hard to regulate. You know, we call them the one-polers. You know, the guy with the pole hanging out the back. Yeah.
Well, here's my question.
He's the splashing dash guy, by the way.
Here's my question.
There you go.
I talked to our good friend, I've talked to several of our experts, and some of them have pools, but some of them have advice on landscaping. And they'll say the guy that comes and cuts your lawn, he should always clean his blades before he goes to the next yard and cleans so you don't carry disease from one yard to the other. Do some of these, let me call them fly-by-night pool cleaners, do they just bring the same tool to yours that they had in the pool before?
Absolutely.
Well, what kind of nonsense is that?
Well, economics, unless they use your equipment, which I don't really see them doing that. And this is what's really cool about the pool pleaser.
Wow.
And there's some great companies out there, but, they're really – I've known Jackie for, I know, at least 25 years. I played baseball with the previous owner's son. That's really kind of how I met Nancy Foster, who now Jackie now owns a store. And, what's amazing – and she's licensed. That's what's really cool about it. She's licensed. She's been to school, and I'll tell you what, she's smart as a whip. She really is. We talk. We have our differences because that's where diversity is. She specs one company and I spec another, which is really cool. But at the end of the day, we're all on a common ground. We're here to give our customers what they pay for. So instead of having a splash and dash pool service, and I love this, I always ask my customers, that we're renovating, who's doing your pool? They say, well, okay, so and so and so and so. I said, are they licensed? No. Are they insured? Don't know. Hello.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Are they insured? I don't know. You're required by law, by the state of Florida, if you are in business, you're required to have your vehicle marked. I saw this the other day, and I was, and I hate to do this, but if you're not licensed, let me help you get licensed. Let me help you get there.
Well, that's the other thing Ask-A-Seal checks on is the insurance a company keeps.
Absolutely.
Then they check on that.
I carry $2 million worth of general liability. I have an umbrella policy.
Right.
So all of my vehicles carry $2 million. And I don't think we can really do $2 million worth of damage to property, but I have those high of limits. I'm sorry. I have those high of limits because you never know.
Yeah.
You don't know the variables. So to know that someone in your backyard is licensed, insured, they're not a criminal. I'm not saying there's any crooks in my industry, by the way. I'm not going to say that. But at least you know that they're insured and that they've had a background check. That's really important today. There's a sense of mind of saying, hey, somebody's in my backyard. And that, by the way, they're in your backyard longer than 7 minutes. And that's what a splash and dash service does.
Yeah.
And it's all over dollars and cents, Rob. Think about this. If you're going to do, and I'm going to do this. I saw one the other day that the guy cuts your grass and he takes care of your pool. There's another company in town that'll clean your house and also clean your pool.
Excuse me.
No, I'm serious. Again, it's not a regulated industry. Not on that part. Everything else that we do in my business is scrutinized big time. But you don't have to be licensed to be in pool service.
Okay, that is something to think about. Now, we're lining up calls at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Nick, now we had a call on the line and we lost him just now, but you be the interpreter. You tell us what he wanted to talk about.
He said he's having pH problems in his pool, and he was wondering if it's true about the chemical that changes colors when little kids do their thing.
Well,
we'll leave it at that.
Remember months ago?
Wasn't that our first show?
Well, it wasn't our first, but it wasn't far off. And the answer is no. There is no product you can put in the pool that makes the pool color change if you do what you got to do in the water. There's nothing in there. But it's very acidic, so you really don't want to pee in the pool, unfortunately. It's not good for your pool.
No.
Yeah, it's not good,
It is a funny joke, but it's not something you want to do.
It's nothing you want to do.
It's just not something you do. You wouldn't do that in a bathtub.
No. But the swimming pool's a little bit bigger than a bathtub. You know, a gentleman called us a while back, last week actually, and I have another comment. The gentleman that called about sitting in a spa and he was getting rashes on the back of his leg, and we talked, check your fiberglass in your
I was
in your
worried
spa.
about him this week.
Yeah, I bet you were. You know, check your fiberglass in your spa and see if it's coming out. And that was Jackie brought that to my attention. She says, you know, Tony, we do a lot of portable spas, and, you know, I personally haven't seen one that's going to fall apart, or the gel coat is coming out, or the glass is coming out. I've not seen that, but that's a great thought. You know, the back of the leg is right on there, and, you know, fiberglass can really turn up, and it's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff can get to you.
Fun. Hey, talk about fiberglass. I love this. I could tell. One day I'll tell I'll tell you the story. Yeah. My aunt was very adamant about having a fiberglass finish put in her pool, and I begged her not to do it. 25-year warranty, 25, all that stuff. I said, no, don't do it. 2 years after she put it in, it started turning fuzzballs. She said, love the fuzzballs, but I hate the feeling. Because it'll itch. You know, it gets out in the water, suspended in the water, and it'll itch your skin. So I went to tear it out. And you know what, Rob, it come out in sheets. Sharper than a razor blade, by the way.
Yeah.
Less than a pickup truck full out the road it goes, and we went in there and resurfaced the pool. But I went on another one the other day, and they put 25 years on us and try to get a hold of them to come back and do something about it. 12 years old, by the way.
Come on.
You know, you ever rubbed your hand on a house and your hand turned white?
Yeah.
That's oxidation.
Right.
Same with the fiberglass. Please do not. I'm sorry. I'm just not a proponent of fiberglass finishes.
Well, look what it does. I mean, you know, Larry and I are boaters. And, you know, I look at the fact that once a year, back when I was an avid boater and getting back into it this year, but, you know, you had to have somebody come out and treat your boat every 4 months to get that chalk off of it.
Yeah.
I don't want that in the swimming pool.
Yeah, oxidation. That's exactly what's going to happen on the fiberglass. I don't really care how good a chemist you are. It's going to happen. It really is going to happen. So, you know, just try to shy away from it. Know what's out there.
So this guy's got the fiberglass, so he's got pH. So what's he going to do?
Tear it out.
He's in trouble.
Well, if in the spa, it might be time for a new spa, because I don't know of another way to put it in check unless you have it resurfaced. Yeah, to have it re-gel coated, you know, to hold that fiber. I'm not a fiberglass expert. I don't claim to be, and nor do I want to be, because I've had my share of fiberglass stuck in my skin. Not so much from pools, but from, you know, AC duct and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, I've done a little bit more than
you don't want to
work.
breathe that stuff either.
No,
folks. Okay, let's go to Tony's pool. What does Tony's surface on his pool? What is it? I have
a Magic Technologies from Magic Marset, one of my sponsors. Yeah. I have Island Blue Aqua Pearl. It's equivalent to a Pebble Tech, and by the way, Pebble Tech's a brand name. For the first time ever, went on a cruise with my wife.
Is that paint on or adhere?
No, it's all stone. It's 88% of that product is stone, only 12% sand, sand and cement. My wife and I went on a cruise about 5 years ago with 18 other people. We had a wonderful time with some schoolmates and stuff. I come back, my pool was island blue, and I wanted it to be island blue when I got back, because I think the color of the islands is awesome.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it really is. And my finish is outstanding. It's beautiful. It's always blue. For those people out there that have finishes in their pool, notice that the color of the day changes the color of the pool water. You know, is it real bright blue? Is it cloudy out? Is it overcast? Is it dark? All that has relevant to what your pool water looks like.
Very interesting, very interesting. So we're talking today about our very good partners out there, and that is the Pool Pleasers right here in Orlando. They got 3 great locations to serve you. Before the show's over today, for you pool owners, we're going to tell you about some really cool specials they got now. Do they have the stuff that I can throw in my pool? They got the toys?
They got the toys. They got the toys. Oh, they got the toys. They got a full line of
inflatables.
Yeah.
For the grandkids.
Your buddy. No, it's got your favorite inflatables. You know, little water wings and the ducky and all that. They got all that. Sure they do, man.
See, that's so cool.
Yeah, they got good stuff, man. What's really nice about them is they have everything, you know, and they have a great attitude. They have great people. They have a great smile when you go out and see them. So if you go downtown to the Orange Avenue, go see Tracy, tell them Tony say hi. Now, here's what's really cool about that. If you go in there and then you tell them that you heard us on the radio, here's the special you're going to do. You take your yellow Jerry jug in there, and they're going to refill it for free.
Huh?
Yeah, they're going to fill it. They're going to give you 2.5 gallons of liquid chlorine for free.
That's
you
nice.
Also, if you go in there and you spend $25, it's going to give you $5 off, which is really 20% off. That's pretty good. There's no markup on. They're going to make any money on stuff like this. But you got to tell them you heard us on the radio.
Where are they in Lake Mary?
Lake Nona.
So we're in Lake Nona. I mean, that's a neat area.
It's beautiful. If you go down 551 on Art Crucy Road, turn left on Moss Park Road. They're immediately on your right. They got a very nice store down. They've been open, I think, about 6 or 8 months.
Boy, you talk about prime locations. Bay Hill?
Yeah, Bay Hill. There used to be a Gooding Shopping Center over there off of Sand Lake Road. They're actually behind that. That's called the Pool Pleaser, too, by the way. You know, and what we do is I'm pretty loyal to my service, people I buy products from. But,
Yeah.
when we're out and about and we're in the area and we don't want to drive all the way back down, we'll stop in and see them and pick up some parts, and they'll take care of us for it.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about service techs and the service tech that comes out to work on the mechanics of your pool. What qualifications does that person have to have by state law? And what is it that they're allowed to do when they're out at your house? Hey, we're going to talk about that and more. It is the Pool Fanatics taking your calls at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. The Pool Fanatics are right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Your week.
911, where's your emergency?
Your news.
Tragedy and terror.
As you know, Jared Lee Lochner, prejudice and bigotry.
Every day.
The atmospheric condition is toxic.
As events happen,
reject the use of the word hero because I am not one.
we'll happen to be there.
And Daniel, I'm sorry, you made the knife. You are a hero.
News Talk AM 580.
We are called here to mourn.
WDBO.
Hi, I'm Jenny with Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. You've heard us say, if there's any delay, it's you we pay. But your Benjamin Franklin experience is so much more. When you call to schedule your service, we'll work around your schedule. We have several appointment options, so we'll find one that works best for you. We'll call you when your Benjamin Franklin Plumbing technician is on the way, and we can email a photo so you know who to expect. Your Benjamin Franklin technician will arrive in our warehouse on wheels vehicle, which means all the work will be done then and there. After a thorough examination of the problem, your technician will explain exactly what needs to be done and all of your options. After your service, we'll call you to make sure you're satisfied. It's like a doctor who still makes house calls. And of course, there's never an extra charge for nights or weekend service. So put us to the test. Call us at 407-905-0014 or online at benfranklinplumbingfl.com.
CFC 056690.
Would you drink your pool water? Crazy, but the answer could be yes if you have the patented amazing ionization system from Clearwater Technologies in your home or community pool. Pools that use the Clearwater ionization system sparkle with a water quality that exceeds EPA standards for drinking water. There's no need for chlorine in your pool ever again. No more allergic reactions, no harmful chemicals that can be absorbed into the skin. And best of all, more money in your pocket. And if you log on now, you can get free installation. Of course, estimates are also free. Log on to poolschlorinefree.com and find out how your pool can become a mineral bath with copper and silver ions naturally. Call 407-324-3691. That's 407-324-3691 or poolschlorinefree.com. 407-324-3691 and kiss chlorine goodbye forever.
Did you get a great camera for the holidays? Then you'll want to visit Colonial Photo and Hobby, where our sales associates will guide you in choosing the right equipment for your photographic needs. Whether it's your first camera or first digital single lens reflex, we want you to buy right. So come in and take advantage of our expertise. Backgrounds and lighting, tripods and monopods in aluminum and carbon fiber, light panels, reflectors, cases, hard and soft. We have what you need to take your photography to the next level. Have a special need? Check out the vast array of adapters, grips, brackets, and handles, or filters and camera accessories. Check out the photography books, take a class, or just come in to ask a question. Colonial Photo and Hobby is not a mall store. It's 15,000 square feet of the best fun you can have, and it's like no other camera store. Located just south of Colonial Drive on Mills Avenue. Call us at 407-841-1485 today. And don't forget, camera repairs, picture frames, and canvas prints, we do that too.
The fun just got better at Colonial Photo and Hobby.
Turn right in 0.7 miles. Your local Geico office is in 1.8 miles.
Wait, what did you just say?
Your local Geico office is in 1.8 miles. Let's stop by for a free rate quote.
I can't go to Geico. I have a blind date.
Stand him up, girlfriend. Let's go save some money on your car insurance.
He looked really cute online.
His online photo? That was taken like 20 years ago.
Really?
He's wearing a leisure suit.
But
a polyester leisure suit.
Saving money is a lot closer than you think. Your local Geico agent can help you with all your insurance needs. Stop by or call for a free rate quote today.
Your local Geico office can help you insure more than just your car. They can help you with motorcycle, boat, renters, and other insurance products. For a free rate quote, call 407-897-7157 today. That's 407-897-7157, or visit your local Geico office at 5005 East Colonial Drive in Orlando.
Weather warnings first. Depend on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
The Pool Fanatics. Boy, that is some cool bumper music. Thanks to Nick for that. Great producing today by Nick. 524. All right, we're talking about what does a service tech do? What are they licensed to do? And what are they allowed to do? And I want to talk, if we don't get to it this section right after the news, weather, and traffic, I want to talk about licensing. You know, you open up a publication and you believe you see, Newton pool guy, Rob Newton Radio and Pools.
You know I'm scrutinizing that name.
I'll come right in there. I'll tune your radio. I'll talk to you in radio speak, and, I'll clean your pool. All right. And so I've got my license number right there in my magazine ad. It's in all my ads. Well, how do you know that's my license number? Did you ever look it up? Interesting stuff.
myfloridalicense.gov.
On the computer.
Yep. You can find it 3 ways. If you go to that website, Florida's a transparent state, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to find out who somebody is, there's 3 ways you can find out who they are. Their name, personal name, their business name, or their license number. Okay, so once you do that, you can find out legitimately if they're a legitimate contractor. Now, it also tells you on that website what their background credentials are. Are they a member in good standings? They have any fines, suspensions, revulsions? They've ever been reprimanded? It's in there. By the way, it's public record. You can't hide this. It's there. So when you're going to do business with somebody, make sure that they have a license. Now, Rob, look, I don't know. No one ever. Very few people ask me for my license, but I'll tell you by heart.
But shouldn't they?
They should. My license number is CPC 050506. Please check it out. I'm transparent 100%. You can find it by my name, Anthony J. Caruso.
Because we know of at least one person through some malady or some misplacement of letters is putting out in publication a license that is not right.
Right. See, the only people are going to know that the license is legit is the pool contractor. He knows what the license numbers are. So if you're going to advertise I don't care where you advertise. I don't care if it's phone book, news, wherever it's going to be, you're required to give them a number. They're not responsible to check that number. They're not responsible. They gave them a number, they did it, and they're going to go forward. Crazy. It's up to you to check it out. Make sure everything's legit. If you don't, and it's in the state of Florida, just do the research. It take you all of about 10 minutes to know who you're going to do business with. It's 10 years ago it was hard to do. Now it's easy to do. The Department of Business and Professional Regulations wants you to know this website's available, find out what they want to do, and hire a licensed contractor, because the licensed contractor has insurance. If you hire an unlicensed contractor that's not insured and he gets hurt, it's on you.
Hey, okay, Jeff in Conway, we're going to talk to you before we get back to what techs can and can't do. What's your problem out in Conway?
Hey, guys, how you doing? I have
Great.
a question for you. I have some brown spots in the bottom of my pool, and I'm just curious, is this something I have to drain my pool to fix, or is it something I can get at Pool Pleaser to rectify the problem?
There you go. You're in Conway, so that's a good thing. The answer is yes. We do no drain. We do no drain spot removals, and there's a process to do that. They'll be glad to hook you up as long as your pool water's above 65 degrees. You can do a chemical treatment. Spots new, or the spots taking a couple years to get there, Jeff?
It's taken a couple years to get there. I've noticed them, and they just get a little more and more, and I just want to try to get rid of it before it's really ugly.
Be patient. It didn't get there overnight now. It's going to take a couple days. It's going to could take up to a couple weeks to get away. Do you have a light in your pool?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, when you do your spot treatment or you do your chemical treatment, you have to pull your light fixture out, sit on the deck, and then do the chemical treatment. And if you have a heater, make sure you close the bypass off, because the process you're going to go through is going to erode your heater. So make sure you have a bypass so you can shut off and stop the water going through there. You'll follow their procedure, and it's going to, it can take up to a couple weeks for it to go away. But once it goes away, your pool will never look 100%, but I promise you it'll look 80 to 85% better than it does today. So great question, by the way.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Those questions come in at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. We're talking about what a pool tech can and can't do and what they usually do. So let's start out with that, and then we'll have to go to news, weather, and traffic here in a minute.
Pool tech's allowed to clean your pool, vacuum it, brush it, and all that stuff. He's allowed to clean your filters and clean your pump basket and lubricate your O-rings, but he can't do much more than that. He cannot, I repeat, he cannot change out your motor. He cannot replace your filter. He cannot put in new equipment. He's not licensed to do that. By the way, if it's, and this is the biggest one, I see this all the time. I go out on my renovation going, where did your bond wire go for your pump? Well, the service guy changed it out. Why didn't he hook it back up? I don't know. Well, that's the thing. He don't know what that bond wire is for. It's actually a critical part of your bonding of your pool. Now, it's required to be there. Put it back there. And I've been on pools that don't have them. They're 35, 40, and 50 years old. We drop a ground rod in the ground and then bond it that way. If we don't have one, we can't find one. We need to bond it. Yeah. You know, you want to know that your motor is bonded properly.
Very much so. You bet. You got to figure that one out. All right, 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. You got a question not only about techs and what they can do, but also about how about the pool please people? They're so cool, man. You want to get to know these people, and you need to know where their locations are, and they've got specials. We'll be talking about specials next half hour right here on Pool Fanatics on News Talk 80 WDBO.
The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Orlando, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
5 days of unending anti-government protests throughout Egypt have at least 74 dead, 2,000 injured, and at night especially arson and looting. Hayasem Omar at a demonstration outside the UN says he just got off the phone with his pregnant wife in Alexandria, Egypt.
She's crying. She's so scared. Now the thugs are down the street and in their street.
Egyptian President Mubarak's appointed two of his closest confidants to top positions today. Police investigating a double homicide say a mother in Tampa, Florida, shot to death her teen son and daughter because of their back talk. The mom, Julie Schenecker, hospitalized for treatment of what officials call a medical condition. Her husband serving in Iraq. Just in, new details about the shooting deaths of 4 people in 2 separate homes in Minot, North Dakota. Police captain says all were relatives of the same family. Cops are questioning several suspects. Word coming in the past half hour, and a day after Massey Energy rejected all federal government theories about what caused last year's deadly coal mine explosion. A rival, Alpha Natural Resources, says it's reached a deal to buy Massey. $7 billion in cash and stock. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Your top local stories, your top national stories, your weather conditions, your traffic updates, your entertainment place. All on our website, WDBO.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Morgan, and if you're as serious as I am about losing weight, then you need to know about Medifast Weight Control Centers. Carol Bell was overweight and on 5 different medications, and her doctor was about to put her on insulin. Then she heard about Medifast Weight Control Centers.
Within 6 months, I had lost about 55 pounds. My doctor was so impressed. So now, up to date, I've lost over 110 pounds. I was wearing a 24. Now I'm down to a size 8. I have a daughter who lives out of state. She hadn't seen me in the first 6 months. She came for a visit. I went to the airport to pick her up, and I hadn't told her what I'd been doing. And my daughter comes walking out, and she's like, "Mom, I only knew it was you because of your hair. Wow, I couldn't even recognize you." So that was pretty touching.
For your free consultation, call Medifast Weight Control Centers at 1-877-923-THIN. That's 1-877-923-8446. And watch Carol's video online at medifastcenters.com.
Good afternoon. It's 5:32 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network. Here's Paul Barnett.
I-4 is up to speed in both east and westbound directions right now, and State Road 417 northbound near International Drive. The right lane is blocked due to an accident. FHP's on scene. This report's brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue. Sonny's all-you-can-eat barbecue chicken is back. It comes with 2 sidekicks and a garlic bread or cornbread, all for only $8.99. Sonny's, the first name in barbecue. On the station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Paul Barnett.
Some high clouds will stream in from the west overnight tonight. Otherwise, a pleasant evening. It is chilly, though, as temperatures drop back into the mid-40s overnight. For tomorrow afternoon, a few more clouds around, partly cloudy to wrap up the weekend. Pleasant with high temperatures near 74. From Severe Weather Center 9 and WDBO, I'm meteorologist Brian Monahan.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar continues to show no rain across Central Florida. It's 70 in Windermere and 71 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station depend on it.
When it matters most, remember News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it. For local news as it happens, stay tuned to AM 580 WDBO, your news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
Welcome back. Yes, indeed. We are all pool fanatics. You know that. So it's the Pool Fanatic Show, and boy, this thing is cranking at just the right time of year. I can't wait for 6 weeks from now when everybody's jumping in and out of their pools and they're going, Tony, Tony, Tony. I should have listened to you back in January when you said to do the renovation, when you said to do the new lighting project, when you said to do the new glass bead project. But I tell you what, one of the cool things about Tony is he's taken the step that most have never done, and that's taken his company beyond just, the print ad and the brochure and, and the website coming out to your house and that sort of thing. He has stepped up on the radio, but who would have thought when you first got in the game that somebody would have said, Tony, not only are you going to have to know everything there is about pools and about all of the stuff you need to put on the side of the pool and all of the stuff you need to know to this pump and that pump and this two-speed pump, but you're going to have to know about something called Facebook, Twitter, a website. And you would have gone 10 years ago, what planet did you come from, Facebook, Twitter, website?
Facebook, Twitter, website.
But has not that become our society?
Oh, yeah. Social networking. Social networking, Rob. That's a whole brand new concept on reality. I'm not a Facebook and Twitter. I do tweet. I send it to my daughter, my future daughter-in-law, and she'll tweet. I'll give her a bunch of things to do. She'll tweet for me. And I didn't realize you can tweet anything. Oh, the weather's... Went to a car show today. Okay, it was beautiful. I guess I could have tweeted that, the weather was lovely and, the car looked good today. And, I could have done that. But
I tweet my therapist every year. I just had to spend 4 more hours with Nick.
Really?
Yeah, he's very understanding.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to reality here. So anyhow, if somebody wants to keep up with the Pool Fanatics, and that is Orlando Luxury Pools by TC Water Features, all they need to do is they need to catch up with you on your Facebook page, which is...
Nick?
What's Facebook page?
Come on, Nick.
Facebook.com/Orlando Luxury Pools.
There you go.
Yeah. That's pretty easy.
That's pretty easy. And you can also search when you log into Facebook. On the top in the middle, you'll see a little search bar. You can just type that in, and it'll come right to your page, and you can just hit like or fan. I can't remember which one it is because I did it so long ago now.
Well, Nick, you got to stay up on that. You're one of my partners on this stuff.
Well,
I'm lost
put me on the payroll then. I guess.
Well, you're on Rob's payroll. Remember that.
Yeah.
He just passed it on to me. But what we do is
I'm supposed to pay him.
Yeah, you said something about cutting his checks. I'm sorry, cutting his checks.
Yeah.
Oh, a whole new meaning to that, right?
I cut him up.
Yeah. Okay. But, what I do is some of my stuff on Facebook's a lot longer than Twitter. I guess you're allowed 140 characters on Twitter.
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't count them. I just send it off and let Donna take care of it. She writes it out and makes it sound good, Now, I'm not a writer, by the way. I don't come across well on writing, and that's something I'm not good at.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot about the pool industry, and I don't know it all, and I'm willing to learn more. So that's why I go to seminars and training. I'm going to do a little CE class, continuing education class at our pool show in a couple of weeks. And the insurance agent had called me, my insurance agent, Insurance by Ken Brown. They were sponsored a couple of weeks ago. Is I'm going to go in there and just kind of give a 15-minute overlay of how to properly drain a swimming pool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because they insure you. You pool guys got to know how to drain a pool. And I'm not saying they don't, but there's really procedures. I'm draining a 10-foot deep pool. We started day before yesterday. And it's on a lake, and of course everybody thinks, well, the yard slopes off. The bottom of the pool is about lake level, about 40 feet away. So you would scratch your head and say, I can drain this pool okay, but you can't. The groundwater could be up on the top of the property and leaching its way down to the lake, so which means the water in the pool could be greater than the water around, in the pool.
Yeah.
And it only takes about 1.5 pounds pressure to raise that pool right out of the ground. And all of a sudden, and this is a 1,700 square foot pool. Yeah, that $2 million liability come in pretty good. And there's no weight in this backyard, by the way. So you got to do it procedurally wise. We'll do it by the book. By the book.
Yeah.
They're just to pop the plug and go.
Now, on the website is what?
OrlandoLuxuryPools.com.
All right, and that is pictures
pictures,
and a lot of cool stuff about swimming pools.
I got some blogs in there. I mean, we still have a lot to catch up on. We've still got a lot of photos to put in there. We're trying to get our renovations before and afters in there.
But what I really like about the website, Tony, and the reason I allude to it is you've got people that come out of the baby boom generation, which I'm a member of, and you're a member of.
Yeah.
So, all we knew growing up was rectangular or kidney size. That was it. That you had a pool, or you bought the above-ground pool up there at some big box store, and you tried to put it in your backyard, and then weeds grew up to the bottom of it, and you couldn't figure out why.
It's called nut grass, by the way.
Couldn't believe that. What the heck's going on?
Doesn't go way too easy.
All right, we're going to Luann right up the street in Maitland. Hey, you know what, Luann? You are not too far away from the Pool Pleaser store, which is right up by you. You know that. All right, what do you have a question for Tony about? Leanne?
Hi, Tony.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Well, thank you for taking my question. I'm actually, I work down near South Orlando, and I frequent the Pool Pleaser quite often.
Cool.
Awesome.
I was wondering if you could explain the new pump law. I noticed on their marquee that it's coming in this summer about the new pump law. I was wondering if you could explain that.
I'll be glad to. July 1st of this year, any pump manufactured prior to July 1st of this year can be its normal rating. Doesn't have to be 2-speed. But any pump made or manufactured after July 1st of 2011 has to be 2-speed capability. Now, December 31st of 2011, the law goes in effect, so that's actually basically January 1 of 2012. Says any pump, 1 horsepower or greater, shall be 2-speed. Now, that's a blessing for most people because remember, 90% of all the pool pumps in Central Florida are too big anyway. If you have a pool that's less than 30,000 gallons, you don't need much more than a half horsepower pump. Now, the maximum allowable turnover time under our ANSI 5 standards is 720 minutes or 12 hours. That's going to change to 360 minutes or 6 hours. So, just getting someone that's going to adapt to it. I'm the chairman of the Builder Council here in Central Florida, and we're going to do some long-term technology teaching a lot of people this year to get it, so they get it right. Because, we don't want people going into 2012, and the thing about it is we're just getting 2011, is not being able to comply with the law. But that's not an option. It will be by the book. There's no option here. So problem we have today is if you have a control system, they do have 2-speed capabilities. One of the big manufacturers out here doesn't. They have 2-speed capabilities, but you got to buy a relay to do that. So if you bought one of my Gold Line Hayward remote systems, they already have capability for 2-speed technology. Now, February of this year, which is only a couple weeks away, the new show comes. We can start doing multiple pumps on 2-speed or variable speed. I'm doing redoing this pool. It's 10 feet deep. It's loaded with water features and waterfalls, and we're putting in the EcoStar variable speeds. We're putting 3 of them on, by the way. We took the three dinosaur gas heaters out, which were only about 74% efficient. They got tired of lighting the pilot lights. New technology, new law, electronic ignition, no pilot lights. So just without having a pilot light there, you're going to save about $200 a year in pilot fuel, and don't have to worry about the light blowing out. Bad time is you want to sit in the spa and the pilot light's gone. So here's the problem: if you in the retail store, this is where the one polar guy can kind of get away with it. He can go to a retail store and buy a pump and not have to comply to the law. But again, he's not doing the consumer a justice, by the way. I taught energy to another service company yesterday, and some very good friends of mine as well. And they're all fully on board. They understand how to do the calculation to show you how to save some money doing this. Now, look, if you can save 50% on your operating cost on your pool pump, why wouldn't you do that?
Well, yeah.
Most pool pump change-outs only take about 8 months to pay themselves off. What a way to do it. I'm not waiting 10 years. I ask this question all the time. Is 10 years too long? 5 years too long? How about 7 months? Hello? I want my money back. 7 months?
Well, yeah.
7 months is huge. So that law is in. There's couple other ones. We got to make room in new construction for solar guys. Because the solar guy, we never left him a lot of room, by the way. We always have, by the way, Rob. We don't crunch everything in so you can't work on it. We're pretty much to the point we need to be, but we now have to leave 18 inches of straight run in there. We also have, the new time clocks. They changed the law. It was part of the agreement was that you could only run the high speed for 2 hours. And by the way, this does not affect. If you have a separate spa jet pump, doesn't affect it. If you have a waterfall pump, doesn't affect it. It's your primary filter pump. Now, we've got some upper people above me up in the building commission that think that the law says it pertains to every pump. Let me tell you something. This is not going to fly. It was only intended for the primary filter pump, not the water feature pump. Because my water feature won't run on low speed. It'll run on variable speed because I can go between 5% and 100%. But my pump, and by the way, the new law on the 2-speed, it has to default less than half the whole horsepower. So, for instance, if it's a 1 horsepower pump, it cannot be a half horsepower in low speed. It has to be less than that. So it could be 7/8, could be 3/8. And look for some other pumps come on the market today. The minimum flow requirement for any swimming pool in the state of Florida starting January 1st of 2012 is 36 gallons. That's the minimum flow requirement. By the way, there's not a single speed pump on the market today that do 36 gallons. But in low speed and variable speed, there are. So save yourself the money. Run it slower, longer, and save the money.
All right, Luann, does that answer your question?
It certainly does. I thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day.
Very good. Luann up there in Maitland, as she's calling in, as you can too, at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. I know people are chomping at the bit to find out about the Pool Pleaser. What are their specials? What's going on right now in the store that we can get for an inexpensive price?
Inexpensive, huh?
That's it.
Okay, well, you get a free chlorine jug. You take your 2.5-gallon Jerry jug in there, and they'll fill it up for free.
I love that.
That's you know what? I've been out of retail for about 5 years, so I have no clue what that's worth. If it's $4 or $5, whatever. Hey, it's still a nice little thing. You get $5 off $25 purchase. They have a full line, and by the way, they don't compete against me, but they do controls, they do chlorine generators and stuff like that but they're licensed to do that. So. But they don't do renovations, so that's what makes it a little bit different. If you don't compete against me, I'm happy with that. I just don't want people to compete against me. We're out here fighting every day, not fighting, but we're out competing against each other for jobs. So I'll tell you what, there's a lot of builders in town that I don't ever compete against.
But $5 back on every $25 purchase is good. That's pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
It's a nice discount.
Take advantage of it, but you got to say you heard us on the radio. I mean, that's how it's going to work. You can't walk in there. You can't walk in there and they say, here's my Jerry jug. But then again, you're not going to know about it unless you listen to us anyway.
Well, yeah, it's true.
So, let's talk about the maintenance guy. You ready to talk about that again?
Yeah, let's get back to maintenance.
Hey, I got a guy that called. He actually sent me an email from the radio station. His name, I'm not going to say his name, but he said if I had long enough hair, I'd pull it out. So when I met him the other day, I'm kind of seeing why he didn't have long hair. So he couldn't pull it out. So, but he sent me down there and asked me to come down and says, look, my pool continually turned green and I got spots all over it. So I went down there and looked at it, and the first thing I noticed, and he did have a chlorinator, by the way, but the pool service guy put the tablets in the skimmer. Don't laugh too hard, Rob. Here's the thing. When the pump is on for 8 hours a day, it's off for 16. And guess what that low pH chlorine did? God. Sitting in that skimmer, being totally concentrated. And I asked the guy, I said, stand right here. Have you ever stood right here in the morning when the pump came on and got knocked out by the chlorine gas? Yeah.
I'm not a pool guy, and I knew that was stupid.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I mean, you're only as good as what knowledge you're exposed to. And I'm not, and trying to tell the consumer the reason you have algae in your pool is you cannot, and this is the floater people too, you can't properly dispense chlorine in your pool in a controlled value. You can't do it. It's not possible. And I told him, I said, man, I love you. You're ruining your pool finish. He asked me, he says, look, I showed him. He had spots all over the place except where the steps were, where the return was, that got the first shot of heavy-duty chlorine every morning. And acid washed that pool, by the way. Right there, low pH chlorine, steps looked beautiful. Go around the other side of the pool, got spots, brown spots, gray spots, blue spots, all over the pool. And so I told him why he had, clean steps here and the rest of the pool was what it was. But he has algae all over the place. And he's not treating his pool with any kind of sequestration agent. I always recommend using the Jack's Magic, whether you use a pink to prevent, purple for saltwater pools, or blue to remove stains. But also their magenta is good for all the three others. It's good for saltwater pools as well. And we start our pools up with magenta. So we try to get you on a sequestration value because in your tap water you have acceptable levels by the EPA of copper, iron, manganese, and calcium. Your pool likes calcium, but it hates the other three metals. It hates them. He had some rust spots in his pool too, and I kind of give him good direction where the rust spots come from. They just didn't show up. They got there through chemistry issues. So don't ever, ever, ever put chlorine in a skimmer. Don't ever use a floater. I mean, you're going to ruin your finish. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest. Look, I'm a consumer too. When I go home, I do not want to have to spend money I don't need to spend. So everybody out there that has a chlorine floater, pick it up, throw it in the garbage can. get yourself a chlorine feeder. Go ahead and go out and get you a Hayward chlorinator. Put a salt generator in there. That's your biggest payback. I know they're expensive up front, but you cannot have to deal with dry skin. Chlorine dries out your skin. Salt is a conditioner. It softens your skin. It makes pure chlorine and returns back to salt. That tablet you put into chlorinator dissolves, and you're going to go put more chlorine tablets in your chlorinator.
All right, we're taking more calls after a quick break at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. The Pool Fanatics, right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Weekday mornings 5 till 9. Get your daily dose of news, weather, traffic, and Jim Turner, Central Florida's morning news on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Depend on it.
Hey everyone, Glenn Victor here. Did you know that car crashes are the #1 killer of teenagers in Central Florida? A lack of sufficient training is often the cause of the crashes. Well, now all Orange County High School students can receive free behind-the-wheel driving lessons through the nonprofit Florida Safety Council. Real driving lessons in real traffic, free for all Orange County High School students at the Florida Safety Council. For more information, go to floridasafety.org. A message from the Florida Safety Council.
How does Senior Helpers check out the people who will care for your parents? Hi, this is Dale Gardner, co-owner of Senior Helpers. Our standard is, would I trust this person with my mother? They must pass a thorough national background screening, and we talk with the families they've cared for. Next, do they have what it takes? We choose people who look at caregiving as a calling, not just a job. My wife and I have been through this experience ourselves, so we know what you're looking for. Senior Helpers provides seniors with cost-effective, one-on-one assisted living at home, companionship, help with housekeeping, meal preparation, medication reminders, plus personal care needs such as bathing and dressing. Call 407-628-4357 or visit seniorhelpersorlando.com. And join us Saturday mornings at 6 for Living Well, right here on WDBO. Y hablamos español.
License numbers 299-993681 and 230689.
Now through Sunday, join first-time and full-time RVers at Independence RV for its first Ask the RV Experts event. The 4-day information-packed free seminars and Q&A sessions offer access to manufacturer reps for over 30 products to enhance your RV lifestyle. Visit with reps from Newmar, a manufacturer of quality motorhomes, and Freightliner Chassis. Register to win high-definition TVs or race tickets. All Independence RV inventory will be discounted. Come to Independence RV on West Highway 50 in Winter Garden.
Didn't get that laptop or computer you wanted for Christmas? Well, come to Refresh Electronics, and for way less than the big box store, get a fully loaded refreshed computer for only $149.99. Hello? Refresh Electronics has fully loaded refreshed Dell or HP computer systems with LCD monitor, keyboard, and mouse for just $149.99, and recertified Apple laptops for just $249.99. In fact, at Refresh Electronics, you'll get 80% off the big box store prices on laptops and accessories from all the name brands, including Apple, Dell, HP, IBM, and Gateway. Get a recertified Apple laptop for only $249.99 or a fully loaded and refreshed Dell or HP computer system with LCD monitor, keyboard, and mouse for only $149.99. Visit Refresh Electronics in Longwood at 820 East 8 Road 434 or in the UCF area. Call 407-478-8200. Plus, bring in your broken laptop or computer and they'll give you a free diagnostic, find your problem, and fix it for hundreds less than the geeks. So before you buy a computer anywhere, check out Refresh Electronics. They really will save you money. And check them out on the radio every Sunday at 1 p.m. Would you drink your pool water? Crazy, but the answer could be yes if you have the patented amazing ionization system from Clearwater Technologies in your home or community pool. Pools that use ionization systems sparkle with a water quality that exceeds EPA standards for drinking water. There's no need for chlorine in your pool ever again. No more allergic reactions, no harmful chemicals that can be absorbed into the skin. And best of all, more money in your pocket. And if you log on now, you can get free installation. Of course, estimates are also free. Log on to poolschlorinefree.com and find out how your pool can become a mineral bath with copper and silver ions naturally. Call 407-324-3691. That's 407-324-3691 or poolschlorinefree.com. 407-324-3691 and kiss chlorine goodbye forever.
To make sure you arrive at work on time, keep AM 580 WDBO on your radio. Traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, in the air and on the ground. News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
All righty then. Last week we kind of hinted around that this week we were going to talk about pool logs, so I went by Nick's house this week, and sure enough, he had firewood in his pool. I don't get it. You know, the guy. Anyway, it is the Pool Fanatics Orlando Luxury Pools. That's the only name you need to know if you want a great pool, a spa, maybe even one of those cool fountains in your yard. Boy, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So anyway, talk to us about a pool log.
Yeah, I recommend that you keep a trend of what your pool's doing. And typically the way you can do that is when you go out and you test your waters, write your results down. If you have pool service, they're going to have a little card and a time clock of what they did. Sometimes I look at it a little bit harder than others, see if they actually really did what they did. But keeping a log of what your pool's doing. When you go to a retail store and they give you a printout, keep those. It kind of gives you an idea, what your pool's doing. We got 5 inches of rain last week.
Yeah.
If you have a 6-foot deep pool, your pool got drained by 1/12. So it's not enough to make major differences in your chemistry, but a log is good. Typically if you have a 60-inch, we get about 60 inches of rain here a year, and if you have a 6-foot deep pool, your pool almost gets fully diluted one time. So I have suggested, I know I've got a customer out there that's just adamant about keeping the information in the book, and it's a great way to have a trend of what your pool's doing. It's nice to know, did my pool act the same this January that it did last year? Where was I spending my money on my swimming pool? Knowing what it is. You're going to spend the majority of your money right around now because we usually get a lot of rain this part of the year and then in the summer.
All right, very good. Okay. We sure got our share of rain the other night. All right, Harry and Kissimmee, you want to do what?
I have this house on the market. It's been on the market for 8 months, and it's not selling. So I'm planning on renting it, but I want to get rid of the pool.
Okay. You want to know how to do it?
I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do about it.
Well, you can cut some holes in the floor, cut the deck out. You better check with your local municipality to see if they'll actually let you do that, because some places won't let you bury a pool. You can pull it out of the ground or bury it. If the municipality lets you do that, you cut holes in the bottom of the floor, you remove your deck, you haul it off site, you fill it full of dirt, and then you're done. That's the easiest way to make it go away. You'd be one less pool in the state, but there's still 1.2 million pools in the state of Florida. There's still plenty of pools. I'm sad to hear you want to get rid of it, because I don't know anybody that doesn't want to buy a house that doesn't want to pool in the state of Florida. I'm just honest about that.
Yeah.
Very few pools.
I would pay more rent if I had a swimming pool in my backyard.
Yeah, I've got 2 pools coming up now where we're actually going to rip the old pool out, put new pools in. So, we do that as well. We'll take the old one out and put a new one in.
Yeah.
It's only because the old pool's in the wrong place. That's why, Rob.
I would think that would help the sale. Right now home values are so bad. I'd call Cleve Loveland and maybe get some tips on how to sell that house by putting in the right price range. All right, let's go to Brad in Longwood. What's going on with your pump?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? You got about 2 minutes. Go ahead.
The O-ring cracked, and I'm having a hard time finding one.
Whose pump? What's the manufacturer of the pump?
Yeah, it starts with an E.
E. Motors, Emerson. E.
It may be Emerson. I'm not sitting right next to it, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm having a hard time finding.
Can you take the
for it? And I don't want to buy a new pump because there's nothing wrong with the pump.
Can you get the O-ring out and take it to a retail store and have them match it up?
I did take it, and that's why I'm calling you guys, because nobody has one.
Somebody's got one. How old's the pump? If the pump's more than about 40 years old, you won't be able to get one. But if it's within, I'm sorry?
It's about 7 years.
It's available. Someone's just not doing the hard research for you. Give us a call. Give us a name of your motor. I have a complete Optima book, which has every part and piece of every pump filter, chlorinator valve, lights, everything you want to know. I have access to. So give us a call at 407-282-4911. We'll do some research for you and find it for you.
All right, this week you might want to call Tony about a new pool, about resurrecting your old pool. Maybe you're a realtor like our friend a few minutes ago, and you're having just a hard time selling a house. Maybe it's because the pool looks like junk. All right, well, that's where Tony comes in and the pool pleaser people. So what's the number again?
407-282-4911. 4911. Remember, Rob, amazing things can happen in your front yard as well as your backyard.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what about the locations for the Pool Pleaser folks again?
There's one in Lake Nona, there's one in Bay Hill, and there's one on Dahlia Avenue off of Orange Avenue.
Well, they're everywhere.
Let's see what Frank has to say here about his algae in his pool.
There you go, Frank. We're going to take you real quick, less than a minute, so let's get it done. Then what do you got?
Yeah, with all this rain lately, I've been getting a lot of algae in my pool, and I keep the chlorinator filled with tablets, and I can't figure out why I'm still getting algae in the pool.
Chlorine tablets are less than 66% effective with a temperature below 78 degrees. So your chlorine is not effective. Your pool water is too cold for your chlorine to be effective. The best you can better do is either throw some liquid chlorine in there or throw some granular in there, but you can throw an algicide in there, Frank. If you do that, water's too cold,